Cowboy Bebop is one of the most beloved animes out there. It has a huge built-in fanbase, so you'd think the live-action Netflix adaptation would be a surefire hit. It should by rights sell itself. All they have to do is stay reasonably true to the essence of the source material and refrain from outright antagonizing the fans. So naturally, they did the opposite.
Hey guys! So as you know, our Cowboy Bebop first look dropped today, which was so exciting. And I just wanted to address a couple of things that sort of keep coming up in the comments amongst fans. First, I wanted to apologize to the fans that I did not anatomically match the Faye Valentine character. 6 foot, double D size breast, 2-inch waist. You know, they looked everywhere for that woman and they couldn't find her. It proved to be too complicated. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was I to apologize that the outfit I'm wearing is not exactly what she wears in the anime. You know, we tried, but doing stunts in tissue paper, things disappear, they rip.
By way of having actress Daniella Pineda lash out at the fans over the tepid reaction to the first production photos. And on that note, yes, I do believe Netflix condones this. She did not go rogue. This is no coincidence. There have been too many past examples of both lead actors and even studio executives acting in just this way for that. This is simply adhering to the Ghostbusters 2016 school of marketing, in which the built-in audience is treated as an enemy. Right on cue, the more activist-oriented publications jumped on it, and gleefully chimed in that yes, the male fans of Cowboy Bebop are pigs. We've seen this play out before, most recently on Masters of the Universe Revelation, and it worked no better there than it did any of the other numerous times toxic creators went out of their way to alienate and talk down to their audience. We've seen this so many times now that it begs the question, is there not a better way to do this? Is there no way to make an adaptation that doesn't involve deconstructing and subverting the source material and drive away the fans who disagree with the approach? Well, according to one maverick showrunner, there just may be another way. Hayden Schlossberg is the Emmy Award-nominated showrunner of Cobra Kai, one of the few successful revivals of an earlier franchise that fans universally embrace. He told The Hollywood Reporter the secret behind his and Cobra Kai's success. And in this video, we are going to break down his formula. If you're a fan of Cowboy Bebop, or indeed any other property that was less fortunate in its current year makeover, I invite you to take notes and compare and contrast what was done there to what was done in Cobra Kai. And if by any chance you should happen to be a creator or showrunner that likes to, subvert expectations, well then you definitely should take notes. With that, let's break down the secret behind Cobra Kai's success that the rest of Hollywood desperately needs to learn. Do treat the original franchise with reverence. Just as you should honor thy father and mother, so should you honor the franchise you are bringing back. Remember, your show would not exist without the original. This is not just IP, this is something precious to millions of people. Treat it that way. Don't be afraid to make big changes. Respecting the material doesn't mean you can't be original. Fans don't want to see the same thing they've seen before. Karate Kid fans love Cobra Kai because they took the bully, Johnny Lawrence, from the original movie and made him the underdog of their story. Do create new characters to enrich your story and reach younger viewers. It's true that if you want to attract a younger audience, it helps to have a younger cast. New characters can bring fresh energy and perspective to your franchise. But don't forget about the original characters or your older audience. Sure, you want to lure younger viewers, but first you must win over the hardcore fans who made your franchise a success. In my opinion, this may be the single most important point thus far, as it encompasses where most other revivals fail. There are some creators out there who seem to be of the opinion that the older fans are problematic gatekeepers. So they want to jettison them in the hopes that a new, younger, hipper, and more diverse audience will materialize out of empty nothingness now that the property is safe. To my awareness, this has never worked. The lesson from Star Trek and Star Wars is that the older fans are the ones with the money who buy the merchandise and who help shepherd the next generation into the property. All they need is new good content to help them in doing that. Drive these older fans away, and no one will be replacing them, and no one will be shepherding the next generation into the flock. Sure, there may be a Twitter stand to retweet here and there, but there won't be anyone new to support the property in any meaningful way with their wallets. Moving on with the advice. Do use nostalgia to draw your audience into the story. Classic movies like The Karate Kid have been rewatched on VHS, DVD, and cable so many times that people remember certain lines and scenes more vividly than their own childhood memories. Calling back those moments can have a huge emotional impact. But don't rely on nostalgia. Callbacks bring back memories, but they don't tell a story. Even hardcore fans will tune out if they aren't hooked into a compelling plot with great characters. The key is using nostalgia to create something new and exciting. Do ask yourself, why now? You will be asked this question many times in the greenlight process, so you might as well have an answer. For Cobra Kai, the answer was that bullying is more relevant today than ever, and they wanted to explore that topic by re-examining Johnny, one of the most iconic bullies in movie history. But don't overthink the why now. There is a reason your franchise is a classic. Most likely it taps into something universal and timeless. So while it helps to give your story some social relevance, you also want it to be relevant 20 years from now. Focus on the classic themes that will stand the test of time. In other words, if you make something too current year, it will be dated real fast. Do have a long-term plan about where you're taking the story. In the event of success, there will be demand for another season or sequel, and you want to be ready. With Cobra Kai, the showrunner said, "We purposely waited until the very end of the first season to bring back a fan favorite, villainous Sensei John Kreese, because we wanted to give fans something to be excited about for season 2. Everything so far has been solid advice, but now comes the most critical part. Don't assume your audience is going to stick around until the end. As important as it is to have a long game, you need to win over the audience very quickly. Otherwise, they will move on to one of the 70 trillion other options they have. Do respect, encourage, and engage your fandom." The best part about working on a famous franchise is that there is a built-in fanbase already. Do what you can to turn that fanbase into a community. Get them hyped up, show them you listen, and encourage their creativity and passion. And finally, and above all, don't argue with the fans. There is nothing more futile than trying to convince fans who didn't like something that they are wrong. If there is division in the fanbase, let the fans argue among themselves. That is part of the fun. And so, there you have it. That is the secret behind Cobra Kai's success. Do you think Cowboy Bebop, and indeed any other property like Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, Doctor Who, Marvel, DC, and indeed anything else, could learn from this? What lessons would you like to see the current custodians of your favorite franchises take away from this? Let me know in the comments.